Hello, this is a short presentation on the rubrics that are going to be used in grading your papers. The purpose is, of course, to help you understand what the requirements are and the standards that are being applied so that when you receive a particular grade on your paper, you can look into more detail about why that grade was received. This should also help you in writing your papers to know what needs to be included at what level to achieve the best grade you possibly can. Start off by going to the grade book. We're going to be looking at a demonstration student, so your grade book and your screen should look pretty much like what I'm showing you here. Once you've gotten into the grade book, of course, then you're looking for the assignment that you're interested in reviewing, and once you find it, then you push the View Rubric. As you can see now, we have a breakdown of the categories that a paper would be evaluated upon. It's fairly detailed, and the point is that as we're looking for specific items, we can point out to the student not only what's expected, but how well they did in achieving that. And I'll just take a look at a couple of them here. The first one is the introduction of the paper. How clear is it? Are you explaining what the paper is going to be about? And the results can range from excellent to poor. An excellent introduction is where the writer introduces the topic and tells the reader what to expect. A poor introduction, the student introduces very little or no topic and does not tell the reader what the paper is going to be about. And then we have somewhere in between. As with the discussion posts, even within a particular standard, for example, the excellent level, there's going to be a range somewhere between 90 and 100. 100 would indicate you got the full amount. Your introduction was as good as it could be. A 90 would indicate that it was a good introduction, but you could use some improvement. Let's take a look at the second category, application of theory. And again, the weights for each category are given, so this is worth 10% of the overall grade for this paper. In the excellent category, the writer accurately applies theory and research to the topic. In the poor category, the writer applies very little or no theory or research to the topic. And the percentages that would be for this particular category are indicated. The rubric goes on. Here we capture the idea of your in-text citations when you're quoting from a reference or paraphrasing from a reference. The critical thinking, the creative thinking, the quality of the writing, the organization, the precision, and then the mechanics. And again, each of these categories, each of these criterion would have the percentage associated with it, that how much that's worth. At the end, all the scores would be totaled up from each one of these categories. That would give you a raw score for the paper. And then, depending on when the paper was turned in, you could have absolutely no penalties or up to 50% penalties. This information was provided in the syllabus and in my introductory video, so this should come as no surprise. A word to the wise: you can spend a lot of time on writing your paper and give up a lot of that in not turning it in on time. So you need to keep track of not only the quality, but also the deadlines for papers. The keys to success. Well, you want to be familiar with the rubric, the categories, and the requirements. Now, we've been using rubrics for quite some time, so this shouldn't be anything new. However, the layout is different and the standards that we're applying for each level are different. So that you're going to need to get used to and apply when you're writing your papers. When a paper is graded and returned to you, not only should you look at the rubric to see how the different categories were applied, but go to the paper itself, because I will be inserting comments into the paper to make recommendations or point out things that you did particularly well. If you're confused about the rubric or unsure of what the requirement is, ask questions. You know how to reach me. You can write "Ask Questions" in the class. You can send me an email. You can call me on the phone. Make sure to submit your papers on time to avoid excessive penalties. And then strive to improve on each paper. One of the purposes of these rubrics is that we can point out in fairly good detail how your paper can be improved the next time around. So what I'm looking for is not perfection in the beginning, but by the end of the course, things should be quite a bit better than they are when you start. Good luck, and you know how to reach me if you have any questions.